I'm like, oh, I know that feeling. Remember town meeting?
Yeah,
Bill.
yeah, I remember that.
Till my ice pack melted, then it was like really bad.
It's just my sense of responsibility.
I heard it.
Is that a good sound?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Then,
Go enjoy yourself. You'll be home, you'll be patient.
Hey Dave, can you hear us?
Exactly.
Hi Dave.
Yeah, you just.
His audio is pretty sensitive. Hi Dave, can you hear us? Hello?
Hello,
Hello, we got you.
how you doing?
Good. We're just waiting for Tom and Brad will make it tonight. He threw his back out this morning.
So Jeanette was.
Yeah.
He hurt himself.
He just called me before I was leaving.
Tom's on the way.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't heard differently. Lindsay,
I haven't heard at all.
Okay, I mean, we are live, I should go check, because last time we used the equipment, the audio didn't feed, so I'm gonna go see if it's feeding.
Oh, yeah, there's no voice.
Yeah, I'll make sure it's working. I double checked all the connections.
Yeah, Brett, all Rich is back. Hey. Oh, yeah.
Mics are on.
Well,
Just
live.
We,
Hello.
Oh.
We have audio, yay.
Hey, Chief. Good evening. Very good.
Sleeping on a well-insulated place or?
I have no idea. I'm putting
Yeah,
my
did you want-
faith into one of the guys from New York.
Yeah, Brad,
I
you
think
have
it
extra
is.
coffee if you want to see that. I'll bring it to you.
Just walk. Just so you know.
Everyone good?
I think we're ready.
We're good? All right, good evening. Calling the ARPA meeting to order. So we had a submission from the Kennebunk Pond Committee. Do we want to go over that first, gentlemen, or do we want to go through the numbers with Jeanette from what we have?
I'd like to hear what the pond has.
Yeah.
Okay, so ladies, if you would like to fill us in on your plan and your numbers, we'd love it.
I would love to. So the committee.
Let me make sure, Dave, can you hear them?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you.
I'm never gonna accuse of being quiet. So the committee hired an architect to give us some plans on what we could do at the beach, on both the beach side and the parking lot side. And we've had several meetings with the architect and kind of reeled some things in a bit. And we think that he's come up with a really nice plan of what would fit in nicely in that environment and would meet our goals of making it safer, cleaner, and more enjoyable for, you know, the townspeople and whoever uses that property. So the cost of the entire thing, less what we have left in our budget from the townspeople, would be, I'm gonna ballpark, I think you have the number in front of you, about $76,000.
Yes.
So we are requesting that those funds come from ARPA so we can get this project done at once and not have to go back to the townspeople repeatedly asking, you know, chipping away at money, not knowing if it would ever get completed or not. So, in front of you, you have what the cost estimates are for,
Mhm.
as well as, I don't know if you've got the sketches in front of you, but if you wanna see them, I have them with me.
Do you have bigger versions or? Yeah, I'd love to see the bigger version, that'd be great. Question really quick, that I wanted to make sure I was understanding. Is the work like gravel work and parking lot work included in these numbers? Is that what the parking lot redesign number is?
It is.
So it includes all the gravel and all what needs to be done in there?
Yeah.
Okay, because Brad asked that question earlier, he said to make sure that was included.
Yeah.
Because he didn't see it in there.
Thank you. So this page is the beach side, the next page is the parking lot.
Okay. And the wood gate shown, the wooden like side rail, that's for on the beach side?
The beach side is a steel-backed timber guardrail.
Okay.
Is what we're recommending, which we believe would be less expensive than like the
Galvanite, yeah.
galvanized.
The usual.
But I think that's still the determinant, they gotta check with the DOT.
DOT doesn't care.
Oh,
They said they want nothing to do with it, do whatever you want.
okay, Dave
That's
May
fine.
said he was gonna check with.
Easy peasy then.
No, they said if we wanted to take it out,
Yeah.
and that was fine too, so whatever we wanted to do.
So how many, I'm sure I can count too, but how many cars does it kind of allot to park in here?
The parking lot would accommodate 15 cars and 5 cars with trailers, with both trailers.
And you're moving the porta potties up closer to the road, so
Closer to
easier
the
for people
road.
to get into.
Yeah, with handicap access along that pathway to a handicap parking spot.
Oh, and it shows the warning plate, yep. And were the picnic tables staying or going? That was,
I think we took them out just, I don't know, we're nickel and diming at that point, but we were proposing a couple of, little picnic
Two.
area in that shaded spot, not doing anything really to the land there, just putting a couple of picnic tables out.
does anyone else want to see the bigger plan?
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Very nice.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was hard to see it on the computer. You'd have to like blow it up and scroll around, scroll around to see the whole thing.
Perfect, thank you.
I just need that one back.
Yeah, that was fine.
I had one in my car, too.
Oh.
Should I go get it?
Thank you, ladies, for coming prepared.
Would you like to?
No, I think it's a large number, but like I said, it's a one-shot deal and the taxpayers aren't paying for it.
Right.
Then it,
And if we can put a card reader and get some income from it,
Yeah.
then you start to have it pay for itself too.
I think it would pay for itself in the first year, honestly.
What do you?
If I may,
Depends what the fishery,
what,
fisheries
Michelle?
allow.
Yes,
Also, I have to shout out to the committee. They've done a fantastic job
really.
throughout this process, putting all this together. I know it's a lot of money, but personally, I would recommend their recommendations. Just for the fact, for years, we've had the potential, safety of the pedestrians or beachgoers there. Hopefully, this will curb the drug activity. And, we get to work with the abutter in some way, shape, or form that's been an issue. So they've encompassed, 3 major problems that has been in this area. So I think, although it's a steep dollar, I think safety-wise, how much can you put a price on safety? That's all I wanted to say, and I wanted to thank them all.
It really blends in too. It's not like overboard, like you're not making it look like, not that Kennewood's a bad place, but this is Lyman, we are in the woods.
We have to be very careful not to make it an attraction because it's only so big.
Right,
They
but
can only
you just made
accommodate
it just blends in with the surroundings, like the choice of plants and stuff that you're showing. It's really pretty.
Well, the other thing I wanted to mention is that Dave Maines has given us the name of a few different agencies that we can apply to for grants. So my question to the ARPA committee is if we're willing to do that, and if we're successful in getting those monies, I'm making the assumption that ARPA funds could go back to the town, but I don't know that for certain.
I'm sure the ARPA funds can, but the grant money would be specifically for the project at hand.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
ARPA funds, I mean, I don't know what you mean by going back to the town.
Well, let's say we got $20,000 in grants, great. And we got all of the funding for the project from ARPA. We have an excess of 20,000. Could we take the 20,000 we got from ARPA funds and give it back to the town?
They can only spend it if it's within the time parameter.
And what's the time parameter?
I know it's hard, a small one.
The reason why-
You're always trying to anticipate the question, but
Well, no, you know.
So if
Dave
they,
Maines
if they got the
takes-
grant before the time ran out, the town could disperse the funds to something else if they happen to get those
Correct.
funds.
but if it's after the,
I'm asking because Dave Maines mentioned something about this project being done in 2024. That's why I'm.
I think we
I
have to have
think-
it done by
I think-
then.
I think it's gonna be done by
It
2025, I think is the final deadline.
That's why I wondered if
Yeah.
we're looking at next spring, does that give us enough time that if we get grants, that this money can?
Oh, I think you
I'm
got
pretty
plenty
sure
of
you have to
time.
have it encumbered by December 2024.
Yeah, but that's almost 2 years.
Yeah, okay.
So we're,
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, but,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah, if you ladies want to try to apply for grants, that may fit the monies for ARPA to be used towards something else that the selectmen choose what we're going to be recommending. I think that's fantastic. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to do, but that's amazing. You guys really, truly, very detailed, beautiful plan. You guys really knocked it out of the park. It's really pretty. It's great. And the details just nice to see.
You have to have everything obligated by December 31st, 2024.
that's it.
Thank you.
it has to be obligated.
Obligated.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean
Obligated,
spent.
not used,
Correct.
Bill?
Correct. It means it has to be under contract and
Correct.
ready to go and encumbered and obligated and encumbered, it's the same thing.
Matt, you have any thoughts from fire department view on the plan and the layout?
No.
Speaking of that, one thing, and it's just coming to mind that you mentioned, Matt. I'm not sure, and maybe the committee can ask David Maines if he made it compatible to having a fire truck be able to get in and get out there. I know trailers can with an articulation, but can your largest truck for whatever reason?
Right.
So just before you sign on the dotted line for the final, you just may want to make sure he can encompass a fire truck. Agreed, Matt, or is
All right.
that over the line?
No, I would agree 100%. And I'm just trying to look at the bigger version. I don't see really any dimensions.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not increasing the size of this area at all. This is,
No.
this is the footprint that's down there now.
Right.
And this,
Which is not all of the property that we own.
Right.
yeah, and this planted island, how's that gonna withstand the winter time of plowing?
Supposedly there's enough room to go around,
Thank you.
and the biggest reason for the plantings out there and on the beach side is also because the agencies
The
this needs
drifting.
to go through, just like the DEP, and because of where the water is and there's a slope on the back lot. A lot of these plantings are being put in to control erosion
Mhm.
and also for filtration, because, and the back lot, apparently it kind of slopes down and there's kind of like this fishbowl when water collects, and then it goes out to the stream back there. And on the water side, we have the road right there with the sand and the salt. So this is acting, it's not just there to make it pretty, although it will look, because we got a lot of plants
Yeah.
to choose from. But it's, the main purpose of both of those plantings is because we're trying to prevent erosion and we're trying to
Protect the lake and the fish,
you know, some
yeah,
kind of filtration system before this gets into
the lake system.
the lake system.
We can also check with him just to, I think you're talking about the entrance here. I think there's room on both sides to expand that if we need to,
Mhm.
but we'll double check that.
Yeah, because I think it got expanded anyways, because they have the.
Yeah, I do. I do.
We'll double check and
Yeah,
make sure.
from
And of course, these haven't gone to the agencies they need to go. to.
Right.
Inland fisheries and all
Pictures
that,
and
it's all
thinking,
set with,
cars,
the watch the way it is,
scale,
they said
not
it's
to
not to be done
scale,
to it, as
drawing,
long as leave that alone and
artistry,
not whatever the state wants.
Mhm.
It hasn't gone up to the DEP, the DOT,
or an ambulance would have no issue, but without seeing
you know,
through
the
through
ADA
dimensions.
and all that.
Yeah.
He works with them all the time.
DOT shouldn't have an issue with it, because they've been involved
Yeah.
right along, and they're the
Right.
ones that said, if you wanna take the guardrail, I'll take it out, we don't care.
Hmm.
So,
So he's not anticipating any problems.
Yeah,
Dimensions.
Right, that's my only, without the true dimensions, I couldn't speak to it.
so, but beyond the
sure,
dimensions
but-
and them potentially making it what you need it to be, this would be something you would recommend to pass on to the select board with the price tag we're looking at? That's basically
That was a
just-
loaded question.
Yeah, really.
So basically, I mean, if, I'm sure whatever needed to be done for the fire department to be comfortable with what's down there, that could be done with work with the architect, I assume.
Yes.
And beyond that, design looks great to everyone and feel like it would really spruce up the Kennebunk Pond and hopefully keep it a little less needly and alcohol-y. That seems to be the problem down there. Although someone just told me recently that someone's changing their oil under the floodlight at night.
You can see them.
I'm like,
Right, we
well,
can't stop that.
already then.
you know,
I'm like, okay.
oh my God.
That would keep people away.
Yeah.
Apparently someone needed to change
Your own
oil
assistants.
pretty,
What
if that's
all that's going on?
Well, that would deal with drugs, I mean, would you?
Yeah, I'll take the oil changing, right?
Can I bring my car in?
I know. All right.
So,
Make money.
There you go. Well, James.
so based on this, I mean, it's obviously with the total, we're over what's available. And I got thinking about that, said, how do we deal with that? And some of it is, well, this is what the estimate was, but it might be different, da-da-da-da. So I got thinking about it, and I said, how about if we do it this way? Everything that we've got here with the pricing that we've done, even though it's over the amount available, if we recommend to the Board of Selectmen, we think they're all viable options. But because of time of implementing, some of these things won't be able to be done. So there, it's going to reduce the cost. So if we pass it to them and say, you take care of implementing this stuff and, you know, keeping it within the amount of money that's available, and we've got things that may have to go to the budget in 2 years and be included in the budget because they can't get done up. One of the things I'm looking at is the internet hookup. We're getting absolutely nowhere with Spectrum at this point. Why, I don't know. But if that doesn't get implemented, a lot of this stuff can't be done. So therefore, we're not going to have the expenditure till that gets done. That was my thought process.
Well, I think even with what we had gone through with the transfer station and everything else, I think there was a buffer of $50,000 and we had initially put Kennebunk at 35,000. So I think we actually are.
Well, I think we're going to
I
be
think we're
fine no
good
matter
too.
what.
I agree.
And you're going to find some of these can't be done.
Right.
So that's going to bring the price down. So if
Right.
we say to the board, these are all good.
Right.
Keep it within the funds.
Yep.
And
I
you
agree.
implement it.
I agree. It's a great recommendation. I agree with the gate, you know, and I said that, I know I talked to Carol, I ran into her. Karen, sorry, it's late at night.
Even I can remember that.
No, I had a meeting today with someone named Carol. So anyways, yeah, I talked about the gate and, you know, I know everyone's not a super fan of it. Again, the Lyman residents are still gonna be able to get in for free. and then those that want to spend here, day here. You know,
What are you looking at charging them to get in?
I mean, that's really up to the select board, you know, basically, but I mean, look at cost, what did park at Kennybunk Beach, $25 for, what is it, an hour down there? I mean, I'm sure there'd be a way to offer season passes and stuff like that, and whatnot.
Well, I think we get $15 a carload at Bungin It.
Yep.
I think that's what they're getting.
Mhm.
Well, after the work that has been done there, well, we can discuss that.
Yeah, that's something the select board can look into and see what's viable. But you know, you figure there's even like there's always work being done there, even during the winter, trash pickup with ice fishing and whatnot. There's a minimal fee maybe during the winter that's charged that covers the plowing and the trash. Just make it so it's breaking even instead of costing the taxpayers money. I agree with the
So I-
price tag
I
you
make
on
that a
your
motion.
project.
I'll second your motion.
All those in favor?
All right,
Unanimous? Excellent. Thank you, ladies.
that's it.
We will recommend to the select board your project.
Thanks, thank you.
Can I keep this one for them to pass on? And I'll hand it out. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
and if changes need to be made, they can be, we're still tweaking
Oh,
if
yeah.
we need to. so.
Yeah, I think probably that with like some
I
dimensions.
think this whole thing is flexible.
Yeah.
You know, that's the good part of it.
Mhm,
Awesome.
Cameras there are key.
mhm.
Would hate to have a gate there without a camera on it.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, ladies.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Ever,
Thank you, David.
Jeanette, did you ever find out, we had a discussion at one point about using the interest that this money is making? Are we good to do that, or,
I think we're good to do that. It's so minimal.
right,
It's so
Mhm.
minimal. That's
You
not
mean
like
we
we're
weren't getting
making,
10%?
We'll go towards the plan,
No.
right?
I mean, it's not like we're making.
I'm sorry.
it
Go towards
almost
the wash
covers
plant, you
the
know, something.
$1,125 that I have left. That's all I was
That
looking
has a
I
reason.
see where you're going with that.
Are we gonna go through this? Because
because,
these are all different numbers. Yeah.
we'll have one more fire department
'Cause
expenditure.
that's gonna change.
Yeah, let me just make sure everyone's good with everything that's on
11:25.
I
here.
went through it. I looked at it. I was great.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll check
So-
with them. They're good. We can vote to recommend all this to the board and then we're good.
I think we just did.
So did you guys look at all these numbers too? You're good with the new numbers that are in there and et cetera, what it brings us to?
I'll change the Kennybunk Pond.
Dave, you good with all the new numbers?
Yep.
All right, so if someone wants to make a motion to accept this list to go with the Kennebunk Pond, or was yours all inclusive?
That was all.
All inclusive?
Yep.
All right. So I think we're done.
We're good.
I will send you guys a copy of the new list with the Kennybunk Pond number added. And I'll give that to Lindsay as well, and she can add it to the select board's agenda.
Okay, and I'll be there Monday night if she wants me to present it or something.
Can I just, I still been looking at, I was looking at this on the computer too, this Bungin Up ball field. Is it just the way this was put together? There's a lot more stuff on the left of things to do than there are prices on the right.
Mhm.
Are those inclusive?
They are inclusive, Tom.
So
They are.
for $25,000, includes rock removal stumps, grade the lot, and add fill, grade new parking area for $25,000.
25,000 includes stumping it and grading it, and then there's,
I think things like this stuff, like these don't have numbers and the lean-to doesn't have a number.
there was. I'm
It
looking
says
for the
add a
gravel.
well,
There's gravel for that, for the parking lot, for the secondary for $5,000.
where's it? I don't see.
Right above the rock, remove the rocks from the parking lot, stumping, 25,000.
Yeah.
Right above it.
He's talking down here, the stuff that's missing.
I'm on Bungin Up ball field.
He's down here.
Yeah.
Where you're missing. the
Grade lot, not
I
stuff.
think,
Yeah, but that grade lot and add fill is that 25,000 up
Okay.
above.
That's what I'm at, I guess that's what I'm
Yes.
asking. For 25,000, Why is mine different?
Bungin Up starts on the first page. I just got confused too.
Yeah.
okay, so shed for equipment, 3,000. Network devicing. Okay, that's for that.
Water supply along beach for fire suppression, I need a number
There
for
was
that.
nothing put in because there was nothing gonna be done right now. The implementation of the water there makes that something we can do anytime they decide they wanna do it.
So you want me to delete that line?
Which line?
Water supply along beach for fire suppression.
That's shop money, but you know, I mean, you can,
Well,
it's shop money.
Yeah, but what, I'm just looking
I
for.
think if we just,
short money, I mean, you're looking at $300,000 here and it's short money. Why aren't we, I just seen a lot of blanks in here. And that's what I was seeing when I was looking on the computer. You know, I'm seeing a lot of blanks and we're willing to give $76,000 for a place that they're changing oil and stuff.
Yeah.
I just,
The water supply along the beach doesn't have a dollar figure with it because we had talked about that was something that could be done, but we weren't planning on doing right now.
I think these two, Tom, can be
So do you
combined.
want me to take it off the
Drinking water as
list?
well.
I would take it
Well,
off
and
the
it makes
list,
it so it's drinking
because there's no
water.
dollar figure attached to it.
drinking water for
So,
concession
yeah, so if they
stand.
do the well, which would be all inclusive, that would make it so it's drinking water. I
Mhm.
would assume that.
Yes, yes, I got a price of, $12,000 for the well and pump. And, you know, $3,000 or so for some sort of a filtration system.
So that'll give
Yeah,
us some
so
more
that's a
flexibility
little
too.
buffer there too.
Yeah.
So that's where I think those two would be combined, Tom. If that helps, so you can like.
Okay, what about removal of dangerous trees? Improvements to Bunganut building and playground equipment. Well, that was a afterthought, wasn't it?
Don't have any- I don't know, I wasn't at the last one, I just typed.
That
up
was,
the
it was an
list.
afterthought and we're talking different things that you could add into it, but I think we're really
I know,
at the limit to begin with.
I think, I'm curious, because I know Brad had mentioned something about the. Something needing gravel somewhere else, I don't remember where.
Yeah, the
Well, it's the fill.
upper parking lot on the
upper parking
Bunganut
lot
Beach
didn't
side.
have Fill versus gravel.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was.
But I added that the last meeting.
Okay,
I didn't physically add it, I mentioned it, I
Yeah.
didn't believe
Okay,
you
Tom,
wrote it down.
underneath where it says
Gravel
Bunganut
for
Ball
top
Field,
Parking lot and secondary lot, 5,000.
all right.
mhm,
That is on the beach side for the upper parking lot and the little, that smaller, lower level parking lot. That was $5,000. If you go down on the Bunganut Ball Field, the third item has gravel, a new parking lot.
Yep.
So after that stumping and grading is done, there's $10,000 for gravel for that parking lot.
Okay. That's
What about drinking water for concession stand, leave in or take out?
Leave it in. That's that add a well.
You got a number?
that's what the 20,
It's-
that's
it's
what the
right there, it's
20,000 is, all
20,000.
inclusive.
All right, so
The
what I'm
time
gonna do is
combined.
add a well, and then I'm gonna move that down into there as part of that project.
Yeah, that's what the rest of the buffer is for, like, Dave said, what, it was about
How about,
15,000, I guess it's 5 to do like sources to get the water or whatever needs to be
Yes.
done.
so I had concrete pads for picnic tables, add 4 new tables and 1 handicap, and that was on the beach side. Now we have a duplicate on the ball field side.
We talked about, I talked with Dave about that earlier, and we felt that if we were gonna grass a little more of that top of the parking lot for people to be able to sit,
Concrete,
most people bring their own chairs,
right,
so we really didn't need the tables or the pads.
Yeah.
We'll just put in a lawn area and let them put their chairs out.
okay, so we can delete picnic tables and the pads from there,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah.
What about the removal of dangerous trees in the building and the playground?
The playground's
Didn't we
functional.
have money in there for, removal of trees?
I didn't have a number, no.
Those are the trees that are down,
Mm-hmm.
those are the ones you're talking about?
You can't do that with ARPA funds.
Right.
That, I want to do contingency again this year and put that, the air conditioning here, because we're not going to be able to do the deep clean because we're covering for the air conditioning breaking down. Toilet
Well, let
went,
me ask you something, Jeanette. Because the trees blew down in a storm and took out those tables, which, you know, now is compromising 3 other very large trees. Is that an insurance claim?
Could be, I know we have a $5,000 deductible.
I'll bet you'd be well over that.
We talked about this at the budget workshop, right? This is,
Yeah, somebody's brought that out to
you
me.
know, we were talking about
It
it.
could be, but somebody's got to, you guys haven't removed it, right? We gotta file a claim. Somebody's gotta come out and look at it.
Yeah, if there's a $5,000, if there's a $5,000
Deductible,
deductible, thank you, Tom.
you're welcome.
Bill, that should be able to be, those 3 trees should be taken down and the 2 trees can be cleaned up. If that can't be done for $5,000.
Well, I've got 2 trees on my property that have to come down that are a little smaller than that. And just to cut them down and not remove them was $1,800. And they're huge. They're huge trees.
That's about what I paid 3 years ago.
So I'll bet you
But
5
there's
trees.
There's nothing in the way. Those trees can be dropped. There are no power lines, no buildings, no, there's nothing there. Even if they went the wrong way, it would be an issue.
I don't think the insurance will cover something that didn't actually fall.
No, and I'm not referring to making a claim any longer. You made that statement.
It can't go in here is what you're saying.
So do you want, yeah, I can
No,
go
you
in
can't,
here.
you said that, yeah.
The trees that have fallen cannot go.
Right,
here.
correct.
Cleaning it up for safety reasons through ARPA, you can do that. Go figure. But, do you want me to have Lindsay start coordinating something to have the insurance company take a look?
I don't think it would
I'm
hurt.
gonna have it added to your list for Monday.
So that's a select board question.
Right. Just throwing out there, is that something a current operational budget would cover, being a safety concern for?
There's no contingency in the
I have
budget.
no money for that.
They took it out.
I wish, but I don't have anything right now. And nobody's using it right now, so.
Yeah.
You can always call a special meeting and ask for money, but. Well, that's the answer when we write the budget,
Mm.
just call a meeting if that happens. Don't plan on if something happened, you know, if it happened, just call a meeting, right? Is that not
It's true.
what the consensus usually is?
What were the improvements to the Bungana building? I know, I haven't been in that building in a bazillion years. Is that an asset that is deteriorating?
That's used almost exclusively by the Y. They use it as a changing room for the kids to change into the bathing suits. They store all their equipment there during the day. They keep their lunches there. So I would think that would really be something the Y would be looking at taking care of if it improves. They're the ones that put it up.
It's in their contract.
I'd have to read it again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've read the contract.
They put that building, that's their building?
I never thought that was ours.
It's our building, but I'm pretty sure they put it up.
That'd be something that we could do.
Another weird, okay.
So am I taking out removal of dangerous trees, or you're gonna give me a number? All right, improvements to the building. Taking it out or giving me a number?
I guess how I would leave it is maybe leave it up to the select board's recommendation, just so we don't have a number, but if there's money left over.
Okay,
Maybe that type of thing, even for the dangerous trees, we could leave it both in and just say, if
Yeah,
there's
but
funds
we-
remaining.
We can't use that money to take those out of there.
No, she said not that, I think she
you
was
can't
talking
use the
tree.
ones that already fell because of the
The
storm
ones that are still
damage.
standing that they're worried about.
But
falling.
you're improving your park by removing these trees. Does that make sense?
The ones that are still standing.
Because the parks were hit hard.
Whatever you think.
I will leave them in as just suggestions and we can just let them know, you know, they can reach out to whoever for a quote, but we recommend these if there's any funds left over to go towards
Yeah.
it.
I will do that.
I would just, as much as you can with this, deal with semi-real numbers.
Yeah.
With numbers, and then put the other stuff as a,
Is that, yeah, like put it at the end as the, you know, recommendations if there's money left over.
Yeah.
I guess, type of thing.
All right,
Because
I'll,
with the economy, things can still change when they go to try to get these things under contract. It's still a rabbit in the hat right now in the world.
I know, that's why I thought maybe it should be like this is what we recommend, A, B, C,
Yeah.
D. So if we've kind of got it in that format,
So is everyone comfortable with kind of sort of the format is in the transfer stations first, Bunganut Beach and Field are second, and Kennebunk Pond is third? ABC?
I think I would just do them all, just put them together and do what you can do. Because you're gonna have some you can do and some you can't do, so. Make it,
How
make
much
it
are
work.
how much are we off by?
87.
Did you say 87?
87, she said, yes.
Yeah, 87, 196.
Dave, there's a lot of things that are gonna come in under what's quoted on here.
I agree with that, but still, we need to make it realistic, before you put it before the board.
Well, like I said, I think there's things that we're not gonna be able to do because other infrastructure is not in place to use that, so it won't be able to be done. So that's gonna reduce the figure also.
For
Well,
instance,
Then that should be taken out now.
what would be something that?
But we don't know. It all depends on what Spectrum does. If they get moving, maybe it'll get done.
And we've got till the end of 24 to
So,
encumber.
is that cameras?
That, some of that is cameras, some of that is the networking infrastructure, some of that is
Okay,
lights.
Well, the network infrastructure and the cameras are how much?
And
Well, the
It's,
18, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 grand minimum for, just
say,
ballparking in my head.
say $15,000 overall.
That was a lot more than that.
Yeah, there is more
What,
than that.
are you
there
taking
between all the
transfer
spots.
station,
Yeah, it's gonna be transfer station.
lighting and upper various location upgrades, all Cat 6 cables, Cat 6 cables in the office, that's
24,000.
24,000.
The transfer station has internet,
Right,
so
so that
that
stuff
can
is,
work right now.
correct, that doesn't have to have this $24,000 upgrade as far as that goes.
Right,
And
Well,
same with Bunganut,
well,
it's like 15.
the thing is, the lighting is included in that, and that was a big chunk of that. That was probably 3/4 of the cost was the lighting.
yeah, if you're running the wire for the lighting, you might as well just run the Cat 6 at the same time.
I agree with that.
Because it would be a lot less cost effective.
So, but Dave, what that's really gonna boil down to, a lot of it is what you put out the bid to get done first thing this spring.
So
Those are gonna be the big projects.
I do know after talking, I think to Brad, there's already functional cameras there and it does record to a device there.
And they don't work.
No.
They don't work. I've gone over
Yeah.
them with Brad, and there's one camera that works, and the rest of them they're the worst installation job I've ever seen.
Yep,
A 2-year-old could have done better job.
probably. But I mean, I think that's, you know, I
Close
think.
it down.
Shut her down.
Shut her down. See the wiring, it's just unbelievable.
I
It's
think
sad.
if we're going to prioritize anything, the transfer station has to be at the top.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yep, I agree.
And
Like
then
we
do
said.
what you can from there, basically.
Uh-huh. Yeah, see what gets done there and then whatever else they can do. Yeah, because it's really their choice what they want to have done.
Right.
You know, we're just making recommendations, you know.
With oversight.
Hey, I'm in the room.
So as far as the board of selectmen are concerned, they have to follow the federal OBM A-133. That's all there is to it.
Precise.
Yeah,
We-
right.
You can fight with the feds on that one if you don't want it.
Janette's like, I'm out.
That was
Especially
written right there.
When
see?
Obama came out and did the rescue plan, you know, he even wanted them posted online,
Mhm.
all of the bids. So, we can be more than, but we can't be less than.
Oh, no, we gotta do it right.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, so if we have our ABC, pass it on to the board at the next meeting. Then anyone, make another
I'll
motion?
do this first thing in the morning and send it out to you. If you
Can do
guys
that?
take the day, let me know, or take the next couple of days, let me know by Friday, and
Put
if
it
I
under
made
my
any
pillow.
mistakes.
Yeah, that's good.
Excuse me, and then we'll send it to Lindsay.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right.
Cool.
You want to make a motion
To adjourn.
I second that.
All right, all those in favor? All right, thank you, gentlemen, it was a pleasure serving with you.
Yes, and Michelle, thank you for, everything you brought, to the table, and, thank everybody for their time. I just, this is another success story as far as I'm concerned.
Absolutely.
Agreed, thank you very much, Dave.
Thank you all.
Great,
Yeah.
great committee.
Awesome.
All right, here we go, shut her down.
Another committee, complete.
Right.
Progress.
Does that mean you have more free time?
Yeah. Yeah, for me to go volunteer for something else, oh, yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. What a guy.
So while the two of you here. Do you think it would be beneficial to like have Kat come over and